Welcome to our webinar in the Fraud, Waste, and Abuse series. My name is Laura Krennick, and I'm on the National Government team here at Esri. Your presenter today is Yoon, and he'll be demonstrating the Active Investigations Dashboard, which is a great asset for all fraud, waste, and abuse combatants and law enforcement organizations. You may ask questions at any time through the questions box on your right, and we will provide answers during the Q&A section at the end of the webinar. There will also be survey questions when you exit, and we please ask that you take a moment to complete the questions so we may continue to present on topics that are useful to you. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the same page you registered from. I now turn over the webinar to Yoon.
Thank you. My name is Juhan Yoon, and I'm a solution engineer in the DC office supporting the national government. And today's topic is Active Investigations Dashboard. As you may already read from the descriptions, today's webinar is not about analysis or a workflow, and it's more about the capabilities and what you can build with our product out of the box right away. So the official product title is Operations Dashboard for ArcGIS. And it is a web app focused on authoring and viewing dashboards and provides data summaries on a single web page. Previously, we had a separated operations dashboard product that required installation, but now it's available as a configurable web application ArcGIS Online, as well as ArcGIS Enterprise 10.6.1 and beyond. It does not require a license, which means that it is free with a level 2 license without any additional cost. And as you may see from the slide, it has more than 4 times updates and bug fixes regularly per year, and it's always constantly becoming more innovative and easier to use. So common patterns of use obviously includes monitoring and managing operations and assets such as your vehicles or land parcels or businesses, and also as well as event management, situational awareness, and emergency management. The most common one would be any natural disasters such as hurricanes and floods, how many houses are affected, which is the path of the hurricane and such. And another common workflow is summaries and performance checking, such as how many investigations are closed or how many transactions are happening within a given period. Before I dive into the actual demo, I just want to go over a few qualities of what makes a good dashboard. So the first one is knowing your audience and what questions are they trying to answer. Do they want to know where the cases are happening, or how much money are they actually losing, or what are the time series patterns? Is it increasing during summertime or decreasing? As well as which environment will this be displayed in? Will they be seeing this on a desktop or a mobile phone, a tablet? Will they be seeing this indoors or outdoors, a dark room or a bright room? Understanding who will be seeing it and the environment is very important. The second one to consider is clear and accurate information delivery. Do you need any additional information or do you have to explain what is on the dashboard? Are people having trouble understanding, interpreting the dashboard? Are you using a similar or same color scheme so it has a corporate message or color? Is all the data filtered out so you reduce distractions? The last one is grabbing attention where it is needed. So for example, if something is spiking up or something that is abnormal is happening, is it easy to identify? So these are a few qualities that you should consider when creating your dashboard, and I will go over these again towards the end. So the demo. The scenario that we'll be using today is creating a tip line dashboard. As most of you already know, tip lines are one of the most useful tools available to an organization for detecting fraud. Your organization might already have a hotline that people call, and somebody on the other end of the phone collects the data and stores it, or have a self-reporting survey form online. Regardless of how it is collected, there's a good chance that the final data set will have a location attribute. And if it's location data, we can map it. I'll be using the Department of Justice Bankruptcy Fraud Report form and created a demo data set for this webinar. As you can see from their website, the form is pretty simple. It asks for the name and address of the person or business, name of the bankruptcy case, case number, any identifying information, a brief description, identify the type of asset, and reporter's name, address, telephone. That is not required. So if you've used our Survey 123 app, the data will be collected on a map and presented like this, with all the attributes collected in a table. The first step of building a dashboard is cleaning your map and making sure you have the right symbology. So based on the information, I know that symbols can be configured to show different types of addresses, such as homes, schools, and work addresses. I can also add another attribute of asset amount to make the symbols larger or bigger. Also, I can create a filter to reduce the amount of points on a map. So I'll focus on cases that are higher than $300,000 and also after 2008. And put on small transparency filter and change the base map so it doesn't blend in with the other colors on the base map. I can save the map. I'm now ready to create the dashboard. So if I click on Share, create a web app, Operations Dashboard is available as a configurable app. I can click on Done. And now you've created a dashboard with the map data that you just used. So starting from the top, you can see a few buttons. The widgets available, Save, and the dark and light theme available out of the box, and a URL that you can share. So starting with the widgets from the top, the header is the title of your dashboard. You can change the size of it, add text, as well as logos and icons as well. So if you have a URL with your own logo, put it in and also add a link to it, such as Esri.com that I'm using. And now this image is linked to a web page. You can also change the type, the text color, as well as the background color, and add background image and other web page links as well. All the widgets have the option to be configured, deleted, drag to move, or duplicated. The next widget is the map widget. There is no limit of how many maps you can have on a dashboard. You can create multiple maps to show different states at the same time, change its size, move it around, or have a map on top of each other so you can switch from one tab to the other. For our dashboard, we'll stick with one map at a time. The next widget available is Map Legend. It honors the same type that you have on your web maps, and it has the title, description, text color, background for customization of how it looks. The next widget is Serial Charts, which works well with time series as well as categorical data. So if your data layer has a time series, such as added date or reported date, you can click on the field and it will automatically generate the data. You can filter it by minute, second, hour, day, month, and year. If you want to see a different number value rather than the count, you can select from Statistics, Summarize, and pick the field that you want to use, such as asset amount. Depending on the widgets, some have more capabilities and tabs for customization. So you click on Chart, gives you the option to change the name and the font size, whether you want it vertically or horizontally. Categories and value axis, the visibility, opacity, the thickness, color, as well as do you want the value in log scale or regular integers, setting up the min and max value, as well as changing color and thickness. You can also add guides to serial charts. So for example, you can have a value between 60 million, 40 million. You can change line color, add a label text to it. And have multiple guides as well. Also easily change the color of the series, and if this is categorical data, you will also be able to add the categories in different colors as well. It can also be visualized as a line or a smooth line. And of course, all our widgets have the capability to add a title, description, and change the text and background color. Next widget is a pie chart. And again, this works well with categorical data. Pick the field that you want to use, and the matching category or widget options are available on the Chart tab, Slice tab, and General tab. You can change the color of the slices or apply colors from our color scheme already available. There's also grouping option, so any value below this number will be grouped together. So for example, schools with 2.79% work with 14%. We type in 15. Any value below that will be grouped together in others. You can also see the number values as a percentage or value itself, and have a legend added in percentage or raw values. The next two widgets are indicators and gauges, which we'll be using a lot. So indicators are an easy way to show an event with number values such as the count, average, min, max, summary, and standard deviation. So in the very beginning, the widget will show the raw count of all the features shown on the map. But you can select and filter the data, such as events that happened this year or this quarter, and also calculate it with a number of values such as maximum of concealment amount. With indicators, you can add top text and bottom text. And these can be customized to have the fill color as well as an outline color. You can also add icons to the left or right. And these icons are also scalable vector graphics that can be customized with the fill color as well as the outline color. The gauge is similar to the indicator, but the difference is that it has a range of values. So with counts, if we set the max to 500, it's a better way to show progress. And just like the serial chart before, can create thresholds. So the color would change once it gets over that percentage or value. So for example, if I change this to 99%, it will be gray, whereas if I below 90, anything above 90 will become orange. Next widget is probably one of the widgets that you'll be using the most, which is the list widget. And you can choose from your attribute table what values you want to show. Is it to add a date, first name, last name? There's not a limit of how many features you want to show. And this is also HTML, so you can customize it with other images or multimedia if you want as well. The next widgets are detail, rich text, and embedded content. And details is similar to having a designated pop-up screen. So the map itself honors the pop-up that you have set on your web map. But if you want to have a constant pop-up screen, that's when you can use the detail page. And rich text and embedded content is an HTML box. So if you want to have a static description of the application, input images or videos, you can use the rich text or embed content. So after you configure all your widgets, you can have a dashboard that looks like this. And save it and share it with your organization. One thing that I didn't cover are all the widgets have actions, and actions are a way to make the widgets interact with each other. So I can add an action to filter the map for each widget or indicator, as well as flash, pan, and zoom. So if I set the target and click on done, now when I click on a point, it will zoom in and highlight, and the data will be updated. And these can be applied to different widgets as well. So with the category serial chart, I can add an action, filter the serial chart. And now if I click on school, the data is filtered to just show school values. As you can currently see on the map, I've added a case where my office is. So if this was an active dashboard, agents working on the field can turn on their application, on their phone, open up Collector, open the map, locate the point, and either edit, copy, delete, add attachments such as files and pictures, audio files, videos, and resubmit it or update. In this case, we'll assume that this was a completed case and delete it. So now if I go back to my dashboard and update it, you can see that the reported today case has turned back to 0 and the case is gone. So the data on ArcGIS Online or your enterprise is a live data set that can be interacted on the fly. So to show you a few more examples of dashboards is the Philadelphia crime dashboard created. So as you can see, these are indicators by different regions. There's a category filter and a time series. So if you click on the category, it automatically filters the indicator as well as the map itself. You can also click on a time series and the indicators will automatically filter to that time series as well as the map. Using the same data, you can set up the colors with different cases, have category filters for each one, as well as a time series filter. Again, using the same data set with time series, serial chart, and list, the data can be filtered right away by crime type, crime division, as well as time series. And you can click on the list to zoom into each case. And this is the same data set again, but changing the background and text color. Same indicator, serial chart, serial chart, serial chart, list. You can also have a separate panel just for filters. So you can have a list of filters, you can have a checkbox, and these can be used simultaneously at the same time. There's also a number value filter. these all interact with your attribute table right from the data set itself. And again, just to show you that this can be used with real-time data, this is another example of showing snow-plowing vehicles and its tracks. So you can show the tracks for the previous 1 minute, 5 minutes, and these time series can be customized to fit your needs. And you can filter the trucks, as well as have complaints data coming in on the fly. And just to make sure that we're using the same capability, go back and see the configuration. This is a map. This is a pie chart. And an indicator. So, as you can see, the operations dashboard is a powerful tool that is available out of the box with no coding required. It can easily be configured to meet your needs, and it can be configured to easily meet your needs and help you share information and increase collaboration. And we have about 2-3 minutes left, and if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat box or raise your hand.
Thank you so much, Yoon. For those in the audience, if you'd like to ask a question, there's a questions tab on your right. You can go ahead and type it in there. I do see a couple of questions coming through. Yoon, one of the questions asks, do I need to code anything to use this application?
No, Operations Dashboard requires 0 coding. But for users who want to do a little bit more tweaking, a lot of the widgets are based off HTML. So you can use HTML codes to add more designs and multimedia content if you want. But bottom line is that you do not need to know how to code anything.
Okay, great. Thank you. I have another question here that says, do you have to purchase a license for this product?
A good question. So I covered it in the very beginning, but just to highlight it again, Operations Dashboard is not a licensed product, which means that if you have a level 2 license on ArcGIS Online or have ArcGIS Enterprise, it is free to use with your ArcGIS Online account. You do not need to purchase or buy anything in addition to use this.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, that's about all we have time for today. I want to thank everyone for attending. Please do take a few minutes to complete the survey that will appear when you exit, and be sure to join us for our next webinar.